Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Talking About, the show where interesting people talk to other interesting people about interesting things. I'm your host, Marian Marriott, sitting in for Phil Phillips, who is on assignment. This is the second in a 5-part series of interviews with important characters from Jesus' Passion. Tonight, Pontius Pilate joins us. Pilate played a pivotal role in the events of that terrible day. He's known for his indecision and is the most famous hand washer in history, a habit that I'm sure kept him very healthy and germ-free. Welcome to you, sir.
Sorry I was a little late. I wasn't sure what to wear, and then I remembered, it's radio. No one can see me.
Glad you figured that out.
I have such a hard time deciding what to do.
Which was your whole problem, right?
I guess so. I'm not really sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Do I really have to?
Yes, you have to.
All right. I was born in what is now the Abruzzo region of Italy, in the village of Vicenti. My family was the Pontis, which is where the name Pontius comes from. Pilate actually means skilled with a javelin.
And are you?
Am I what?
Skilled with a javelin.
Well, maybe. Some people say that I am. I don't really know.
Sorry, go on.
I do know that I was an equestrian. I rode and trained horses. I was in the military and became a prefect. The prefect of Judea under Emperor Tiberius.
What's a prefect?
A governor. I was governor of Judea. I got the job in AD 26.
AD 26. Wow, that makes you...
1,933 years old.
Well, I must say, you look great.
Well, thank you. I try to keep up appearances. Still do a little horseback riding, maybe some javelin throwing.
So you were a pretty important person in the government.
Well, not as important as I wanted to be.
Really?
I only commanded 3,000 troops, which is a drop in the bucket. If there were a real conflict, the legate of Syria was the one who would be called, with his troops, down to Palestine.
So you were headquartered in Jerusalem?
Well, I traveled all over the province, but I was very often in Jerusalem, especially at Passover.
Why Passover?
Besides being a religious festival, it was a national holiday for the Jews. The Jews were very resistant to Rome, and there was the constant danger of an uprising. I would be there to stop that from happening.
So that's why you were there when Jesus was arrested?
Yes, unfortunately.
Tell us about that trial.
I'd really rather not, unless I have to.
You have to.
All right. It was a really busy day, and I had a busy day ahead of me. And the last thing I needed was to have Jesus brought before me. Rumors had been going around about him for 3 years, and some of them had gotten back to me. He was a lightning rod for controversy. Some people literally worshipped the ground he walked on, and other people completely despised him.
What did you think?
I didn't think anything, one way or the other.
You didn't much care about the Jews in general. Is that safe to say?
They were just Roman citizens to me, and they were incredibly annoying with rebellious attitudes.
So Jesus came before you.
He looked absolutely terrible. That was my first impression. He had been really roughed up before he got to me.
How did the trial go?
Well, so this was his second trial. The prisoner had already been before the chief priests and the elders, the Sanhedrin. Caiaphas was the high priest.
What did the Sanhedrin tell you about Jesus?
They said that he thought he was God. For one thing, to the Jews, this is blasphemy. Blasphemy is punishable by death.
What do you think? Was it blasphemy?
No, of course not. There are lots of gods. I sacrifice to them all the time. I couldn't care less about the Jews' God.
What else was supposed to be so terrible?
People said he called himself the King of the Jews. I asked him point blank, and all he said was, "You say so." People said he was stirring up trouble, starting another rebellion. Now that is a crime, a political crime, if he was guilty.
So, in your point of view, was he guilty?
Honestly, no. I heard the testimony and found no reason to believe he'd done anything wrong.
Then why did you ask the crowd what to do?
I didn't want to decide his fate. Besides, At the Passover festival, it was customary to release one prisoner, whoever the people wanted.
And we all know what the people said.
Frankly, I was completely flabbergasted. We had another man in custody, Barabbas. He was a dangerous guy, a murderer, and a rebel against Rome. He absolutely deserved the death penalty.
When the crowd shouted, "Crucify him," if you knew Jesus was innocent, why didn't you do something?
Honestly, what could I do? I washed my hands of the whole thing. Literally. If they wanted him killed so badly, let them have him. I released Barabbas.
Wow, you didn't stand up for what you believed was right. You made a tragic decision.
You really don't understand. It's absolutely not my fault. I didn't decide. They did.
You made the decision not to decide. That's just as bad.
Anyways, it's all over now. They crucified him. He's gone. No trouble for Rome. End of story. There's absolutely no way he could come back.
But it wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning.
I really don't understand what you're talking about.
And you probably never will.
Maybe. Maybe not.
And there you have it, a conversation with Pilate, the wishy-washy, namby-pamby, loosey-goosey
That's enough. That's enough already.
man who's flip-flopping and hand-wringing.
That's hand-washing.
Whatever. It led to the death of the greatest man the world has ever known. Well, it was a real pleasure talking with you. Phil will be back next week with another incisive interview on Talking About. For now, I'm Marian Marriott. Good night.